Tell us about the experience at the Fillmore.
Of course, it was like we felt very privileged being included amongst all those amazing artists. And after the thing what we have done during our career, it has been pleasant to realize and notice that actually the Metallica guys who are the reason for us to start to do something like this, that they do respect us. At least that much that they wanted us to be a part of this big celebration of their career. And of course it was crazy. I remember that when we started to play I'm starting the song, James Hetfield is just next to me, and I'm thinking that when I was like 13 years old, he was my biggest idol, and now we are playing, together, so it's absurd, but just like natural and logical in other terms.
The connection to Metallica has been really like a super great all these years. We played first time as a support to them already in '96. It was actually our 5th show for proper rock and roll audience, and we were supporting Metallica. Sounds quite crazy. Yeah, and yes, and since that we have played many times with them in same festivals, and let me say that the connection with Metallica is really like a cool and really nice. They're close.
Every time you come to San Francisco, you're calling Lars like, hey, let's go for a tennis.
Actually, pretty close. We just were this spring in there, and Lars came to watch our show in San Francisco, and usually we try to hang out whenever it's possible.
You guys did a huge Wagner show where Ika actually wrote the score, right? So how did that came about?
Actually, as an original thing, it was meant to be just the music delivered by Eikka to the production. But after we kind of started to think about the production in general, it started to feel more and more natural that actually Apocalyptica should be a playing and performing part of it. Yes. But of course we like challenges, we like to do different kinds of things and different projects, always searching for new ways to express ourselves as a band, and Wagner Reloaded felt pretty cool because we never did something with the dancing in that scale. And,
many different kind of dance groups and ballets has used Apocalyptica music before. Even Finland's National Opera has used that, but the original idea for this Wagner Reloaded came from the choreography, Gregor Seifert, the leader of the dance group, and so it just sounded really great, and the final result was super nice.
Yeah. Well, but is it something where you'd say, okay, when you grow older, when you're getting older, that's something you might do more often, do some classical stuff with dancers or maybe a bigger orchestra?
Actually, last 2 years has been like doing this Wagner Reloaded, and then we also had like a Apocalyptic Symphony, which was we were touring North European countries with an orchestra, Avanti Orchestra, which is like a quite small contemporary music orchestra, and we've finished in Wacken Open Air, playing on the main stage. Yeah. And it was really like an interesting project. But now, at the moment, we want to be like a compact rock band, and
Yeah, it kind of felt that before Shadowmaker album, we made so many different projects that we felt that now we want to just gather, being just us four. And there we come actually probably to your next question. Why Frankie? Because of this exact thing. Because we wanted to feel that all the concentration would be in Apocalyptica, not like whom do we invite or orchestra singers, famous superstars. Or we wanted to create music and feel like a real band, and that was basically the origins of why we wanted to involve a member who would be able to do the album, but most importantly also able to tour with us, because it felt tragical that we made so many beautiful, amazing cooperation vocal tracks with Corey Taylor and Till Lindemann, with everyone with whom we actually cannot perform those songs for the fans as they should be.
How good were the other singers offered? You got about 25.
We had a bunch of demo tapes. There were a lot of, like, I would say 4 in a final end that would basically fit vocal-wise in there, but still we found some specialties in Frankie's kind of inner soul that, of course, we had to give those guys to sing our previous material, songs like I'm Not Jesus. Obvious hits, we wanted to hear how they do them, but also we sent a couple of new tracks in a demo state. And Hole in My Soul, especially the song how Frankie sang it and the fragile, beautiful version, that finally was the winner. And also,
you know, because we wanted to have a singer who can deliver metal rock singing, but also really sensitive and beautiful singing.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of metal singers, but they can't sing beautiful and sensitive way.
I wanted to ask about that Independence Day show in Finland where Eika wasn't showing up. Please tell us about that. You had a show, some final show of a tour,
yeah.
and Eika was there at the presidential thing. What was that?
Yeah, we have a big thing in Finland that president invites people who kind of have done something particularly spectacular or whatever, blah blah blah. Eika got an invitation.
Something Finland could be proud of.
Yeah, exactly. And so Eika got invited from us. We decided not to cancel the show anyway, and
it was just one show in
Strasbourg, I think.
Yeah. In the middle of the tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we decided not to cancel the show and play the gig nonetheless. And we had the touring cellist Antero back in the days, so that was still possible to kind of. But nowadays we play only with 3 cellos. But now, if somebody would be away, it would be impossible to perform anymore.
Yeah.
And that thing that was really big. It was like, is he now like one of the famous faces in Finland? I don't know if he get invited by the president.
No, yeah, we all are.
You all are, of course.
Well known, but it's funny in Finland that nobody gives a shit basically about the most famous dudes. They walk in Centrum. Even our president goes there occasionally without bodyguards because Finland is a strange place and people.
How often has he seen Apocalyptica?
I would guess that the current president hasn't seen us, but the previous one loved us a lot. Yes.
In Helsinki there is even one tram where is Eika's and Perttu's faces.
Oh, there you go.
But hey, Martti Ahtisaari came to my classical recital, so it's
the
the Nobel Prize winner.
President, yeah. Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad.
How's your skiing?
I would love to go. I have some plans for this year to go to Zellamsee for a skiing holiday.
You've often been there, right?
Yeah, you know, actually one really good friend of mine is living there, Finnish guy, and I love Austria.
So this winter,
I will come this winter.
How about the kids? Are they practicing already?
Yeah, I have 3 kids and they are really good skiers. So.
What's your favorite sport? Are you doing any?
Yeah, computer gaming. But actually, I love trekking, staying in mountains without the skis. But I aim to climb high at some point, at least. Yeah, I love being in silent in nature. That's therapy.
Don't you have any, any words written in your contract? Don't do sports or something. Don't drink too much and shit.
No. That's for
unfortunately
pussies.
we should. But many times especially when you were younger, kind of without the kids, he was horrible. Like all the time and really, really risking his life with his hobbies. And every time he left to vacations, I was kind of saying farewell. Like you went to scuba diving and almost died in some cave. And like it felt horrible.
Yeah, I have loved it, like extreme sports, and windsurfing, scuba diving, and
once
free skiing in the big mountains.
Open.
Yeah, parachute jumping and that kind of stuff. Nowadays I'm doing bit easier because I have kids.
Yeah, now the kids are gonna do those things.
Yeah, but I'm still doing those.
What about your new singer on tour? I mean, how tough is it for him going on tour with you guys? Being on the tour bus and else, you know? He must freak out like every second day.
He's used to tour, yeah, so he used to sing, play and sing.
But he cannot be prepared for touring with Finnish.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he used to tour a lot with the Scars on Broadway and with the Slash and yeah, you know. And now our touring schedule is pretty hard. We have like 6 shows a week. It's hard for a singer.
Quite tough, yeah.
And he's been like, it's quite tough. Like after 2 weeks, yeah.
But still going strong.
Yeah, but we are punishing him. We will teach him some Finnish.
Yeah.
Working morally.
But what can he say in Finnish? Like, fuck you or something?
Exactly. That's about it.
That's how
But
normal would say,
it's
voi
funny-
vittu Frankie.
But the funny thing is that he's trying to imitate ourselves when we just talk Finnish, and he don't understand shit about it, but he tries to like grab some words, and it's very funny. But I think it's exciting to see like a Cuban origins Las Vegas dude fitting into a Finnish cello group, and when we go on stage, there is something like in common. Yeah, everybody loves music equally lots, and we are here to give an audience an unforgettable evening.
Yeah, of course, in the beginning we were thinking that, can we, like Scandinavian boys, fit the Las Vegas guy, rock and roll?
Yeah.
But it's been really super great to be together, and he's lovely guy.
Did he have to go through some boot camp, some Finnish boot camp? You know,
Yes,
drinking vodka a week?
Yeah, yes, we invited him to Finland and we checked.
But the very
we went to sauna
but the very first test when we first time had a Skype call, we already were like naked, we all in our rehearsal room, waiting for him to catch the call, and then when he answers and sees that okay, now Apocalyptica is ringing,
he was a bit excited.
Yeah. So he don't know what to expect. That this is 4 white-skinned Finnish people naked there. Hello, Frankie! Welcome to the group!
He's like, ooh.
And he took it pretty well.
Yeah, it was.
But they are so scared of those things in USA normally.
One thing to the instrument. Have you been teaching cello to somebody over the years?
I teach quite many years. Yeah. Nowadays I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
I still love. It's face to face to the people and young people, human beings, and it's really it's really human. I love it.
You're the cool guys on the cello, put it that way.
It needs so much patience.
Yes, that's tough job to learn to play the
But
song.
for me, I think one of the coolest things in this entire thing is that I was kind of a little bit teased when I was a kid. I didn't dare to carry the cello to school because I knew that the tough guys would beat me up. A little bit like I was a nerd in that sense, at least in their eyes. Playing classical instrument in Finland at those times, it was something else than cool. Yeah. But okay, then we did something like this. Things started to develop. I'm so happy that many people actually have come to say that thanks for our kind of guidance. That
actually,
nowadays cello feels.
I got to
cool.
tell one story about one of my students. I was teaching cello playing. She said that she was so ashamed to carry cello before Apocalyptica, and when we did something, she was so proud of that. And that's really small, tiny things which can mean a lot for those 14, 15 years old young.
It's like now when you hear like you guys playing The Unforgiven, the intro, it's like that's how the song should sound like, Why wasn't there a cello in the first place?
We have definitely adapted a couple of cover songs. At least let's say that our cover version is so strong that it definitely has a purpose.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess that was one of the reasons why Metallica did this S&M album.
Yeah, yeah.
And they said that we encouraged them to make an orchestra version of their songs. And actually they invited us to recording in Frisco. They paid our flight tickets. They gave their own limousines for our use. That was really cool. Yeah, and we were there.
Hi, I am Perttu
And I am Paavo.
from Finnish cello rock band APOCALYPTICA, and we are here with the glorious TV.
Mulachak.
And it's naturally the only thing you ever need.
Wonderful.
Mulachak!